there's very few people in this world that I remember meeting them for the first time, like where they're meeting them for the first time was such a big impression that I absolutely remember the very moment. But I remember exactly where I was when I met David. He was doing a prospective visit. It was during the COVID years, so we were on the back of the Ainsley's house down in their like little cove area, sitting there talking. And usually when we meet prospective students, or at least when I meet prospective students, the parents cover most of the questions. They're the ones who want to know everything. They're the ones who have all of the conversation. But there was no doubt about it. David was running that meeting when he was in 8th grade. It was such a big difference to every other person that I had ever met as an 8th grader. And I knew, as I've learned throughout the years of being a teacher, one of the things that I at least realize is that, teaching is a two-way street. Is I teach and students are supposed to learn. And sometimes I teach, nobody learns anything. And then there's other times where there's a student that comes along, and there's another one that I remember from years ago, Connor Bell. It doesn't matter whether I show up as a teacher or not. That kid's going to learn something, whether I do a great job or don't. They're going to try and press for information that I'm not even trying to give. And David falls into that category as well, always looking for that little bit of extra knowledge that he can pick up here and there. But the reason why I chose to talk about that song real quick is because of the fact that David's academic pursuits have been amazing, and I kind of always knew that just from meeting that 8th grader. But in the end, what's been so impressive for me to get to know David over these years as advisor and as coach, and I was his teacher for about 10 minutes. But ultimately, the thing that has most impressed me is how he has developed as a person, where the academics, yes, absolutely were important, but David realized at some point along the way that he was living in the golden years, that he couldn't just go to this academic pursuit for some future goal and not enjoy the moments that he had coming right along as he was on that pursuit. So it's been great to watch him develop as not only a student, but also as a young man. And, I always thought when I met him, I'm like, I should have this guy doing my taxes. He does drive a Volvo. He's one of the most responsible kids I know. But at the same time, I couldn't be more impressed with how he's become such a special young man in the last few years because of the fact that he's been able to look himself in the mirror and see not only who he was, but who he wanted to become.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to start by thanking Mr. Yerk for that kind introduction. Sharing an advisory with you over the past 4 years has been both an honor and a privilege. Your guidance and unwavering support have left a lasting impact on me. To my classmates, teachers, family, friends, thank you for being here today and for being such an important part of this journey. So, as I sat down to write this speech, I found myself reflecting deeply on my high school experience, the lessons I've learned, the moments that have shaped me, and the people who have left a mark on my life. I wanted to share something meaningful, something that could resonate with each of you. After much thought, I decided to focus on 5 principles that I aspire to live by. These aren't rules I've mastered, far from it, but they've helped guide me, and I hope they might offer you some guidance as well. If even one of these principles finds its way into your life and makes a difference, then my purpose here today is fulfilled. So number 1. A few years ago, during an Easter vacation on Sea Island, I stumbled upon an unforgettable lesson. On a small basketball court, I found myself playing barefoot with a group of kids and a half-flat ball. It was one of those carefree moments, the kind where the heat of the day doesn't bother you and laughter fills the air. Then we heard it, a rhythmic tapping sound, unmistakably a cane striking the ground. Turning around, we saw a blind man approaching. He asked to join our game. We were at first skeptical, unsure of what he could do, but curiosity won, and we handed him the ball. What followed was nothing short of remarkable. He lined up his shots with precision, sinking basket after basket. He wasn't just good, he was phenomenal. His confidence combined with his skill left us in awe. It wasn't long before he became a sensation among us. But his words resonated even more with me than his actions. The only disability in life is a bad attitude, he told us. That simple yet profound statement has stayed with me ever since. It was a reminder that our circumstances don't define us, our mindset does. Life will undoubtedly present you challenges, but the way we approach them can transform obstacles into opportunities. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Focus on the positive, take pride in who you are, and believe in your ability to overcome." Point 2, control what you can control. I've always admired the philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles are inevitable. However, one thing remains constant: the power you have over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. To quote Marcus Aurelius once again, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about things beyond your control, but doing so only drains your energy. Instead, channel that energy into what you can influence. Trust the process, even when the path forward isn't immediately clear. Remember, the journey is as important as the destination. The moments of struggle, learning, and growth along the way shape who you become, and they're just as meaningful as reaching the final goal. Sometimes the very challenges that seem to block our path can actually show us the way forward. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Obstacles aren't just things to overcome. They can be the catalysts that push us to grow, adapt, and excel. When you face a barrier, remember to ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can this help me grow? You may find that the obstacle itself becomes your greatest opportunity. Likewise, don't shy away from taking action simply because the outcome is uncertain. Fear of the unknown often keeps us from achieving what we're capable of. Growth happens when we embrace uncertainty and move forward anyway. If we wait for guarantees, we may miss the chance to make something truly meaningful happen. Take the leap. You might be surprised by where it leads. To the juniors in the room, I know the thought of college applications can feel overwhelming. My advice: start early and trust that everything will fall into place. As Bob Marley sings in Three Little Birds, every little thing's going to be all right. When you focus on what's within your control, you'll find strength you didn't know you had. Number 3, treat others the way you want to be treated. We've all heard the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. But living by it is where the real challenge lies. For me, this principle came to life during a memorable moment in my freshman year. 1 week into the school year, we were still adjusting to the COVID protocols, which meant eating lunch outside under tents. Bees swarmed everywhere, and we trapped them in plastic cups filled with lemonade. Lunch came on thin cardboard trays, a less than ideal pairing with a heaping serving of spaghetti. As I stood up to throw away my tray, the bottom gave way, spilling spaghetti all over my khakis. I wasn't sure what was redder, my pants or my face. Then none other than George Jones stepped in. While others laughed, he didn't. Instead, he brought me back to his room and lent me a pair of his pants. That moment didn't just save me from embarrassment. It reminded me the kind of person I want to be, someone who steps up when others need it. That simple act of kindness meant the world to me. It reminded me that empathy costs nothing, but means everything. Small gestures like a kind word, a helping hand, or even just a smile can leave lasting impressions. So take the time to be there for others, just as George was there for me. This principle extends beyond just how we treat individuals. It also encompasses our community and the spaces we inhabit. Treat your surroundings with the same respect and care you wish to receive. Whether it's your school, neighborhood, or any shared environment, strive to leave it better than you found it. When you immerse yourself in a community, take a moment to ask yourself, what impact can I have? Be intentional about improving not only the people around you, but also the spaces you share. A thoughtful act, no matter how small, can ripple outward, creating a more uplifting and supportive environment for everyone. Principle 4, don't expect anything. Life has a way of teaching us that nothing is guaranteed. Success isn't instant, and life owes us nothing. As my dad likes to say, it's called fishing, David, not catching. You can't control the outcome, but that doesn't mean you stop trying. Keep casting your line. Put in the effort even when results aren't immediate. As Thomas Edison once said, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. This principle reminds me to trust the process. The end result is important, but it's also crucial to recognize that the journey, the effort, the setbacks, and the learning is where we truly grow. The destination might feel like the finish line, but the path you walk to get there is what shapes you and teaches you the most. Embrace the journey, keep putting in the effort, and trust that your hard work will pay off, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Hard work and perseverance often yield results when we least expect them. And remember that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Lastly, principle 5, live in the moment. In our fast-paced lives, it's easy to focus on what's next, the next challenge, the next goal, the next chapter. But Matthew chapter 6, verse 34 reminds us, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Every day is a gift. Don't let procrastination or the fear of unknown rob you of the present. Whether it's tackling a new challenge, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying the moment, embrace the here and now. As the saying goes, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. The moments we share, right here, right now, are what life is all about. Don't let them slip by unnoticed. So, if you take nothing else from this speech today, remember to have fun. Life is too short to be consumed by stress or negativity. Cherish the people you love, embrace the opportunities that come your way, and always believe in yourself. Thank you all for being a part of my journey. I'm grateful for the memories we've made, and I'm excited to see where life takes each of you. Take care of each other, make the most of every moment, and always strive to be the best version of yourself. Thank you.